Well, viewers of the Citizens Network Gambia, welcome to another news roundup of Gambian papers making headlines. The 31st of October 2023. Let's start with the Point newspaper, which on its front page highlights that the state calls second witness in the alleged PIU shooting case. 3 senior government officials' case set for trial. On the Standard newspaper, former presidents to get lifetime pension office. UDP denies dismissing Rohey Malick Lowe. And on the Voice newspaper, High Court expected to deliver verdict in coup trial today. Nationwide road clearing operation overdue, said Pa Modumbo of the APRC. Let's look into the papers deeply. Starting with the Voice newspaper, a story written by Nicholas Bass. Justice Basiru VP Mahoney of the Banjul High Court is today expected to deliver judgment in the trial of Lance Corporal Sana Fadera and alleged conspirators following several weeks of trials over an alleged coup attempt. Lance Corporal Fadera was being tried on charges of treason, mutiny, and conspiracy. His alleged conspirators, Petty Officer Gabriel Dabo, Corporal Ibrahim Asano, and Sub-Inspector Fabakari Jawara were being tried on charges of conspiracy, treason, and concealment of treason. According to court records, Lance Corporal Sana Fadera, Petty Officer Jibril Dabo, Corporal Ibrahim Asano, Sergeant Jibril Dabo, and Lamin Jadaba, now at large, between October and December of 2022, within Banjul and diverse places of the Republic of the Gambia, prepared or endeavored to overthrow the democratically elected government of President Adama Barrow by unlawful means. Another story from the Voice newspaper written by Nima Silla says nationwide road clearing operation overdue, according to Pamodumbo. The former spokesperson of an APRC splinter group, Pamodumbo, has maintained that the current nationwide road clearing operation was overdue. Considering the traffic nightmare of drivers and commuters, the police road clearing is long overdue. According to Mr. Mbow, in any development intervention, some people will be affected, but added that if the majority is okay with it, that's democracy. And now to the Standard newspaper with the biggest headline of the day: former presidents to get lifetime pensions. The government will introduce a new bill which would establish lifetime pensions, gratitudes, and other benefits to ex-presidents of the Gambia and their spouses. Story written by Tabora Bojang. The bill, dubbed the Former President's Bill 2023, will be introduced by Finance Minister Sidi Keita in the upcoming extraordinary session of the National Assembly in the 2023 legislative year. The bill will establish an office of former presidents which shall subsist during the lifetime of the former president from the date of his or her ceasing to be the president. If passed, the government, within 6 months after a president leaves office, shall furnish and equip the office of a former president to the standard of a cabinet level and shall employ not less than 4 staff, including a personal assistant and personal secretary. For pensions, the government shall pay a former president for the rest of his or her life a monthly pension payable in arrears of an amount equal to a salary of a serving president. According to the bill, the government within 30 days from the date of a former president leaves office shall pay a former president a non-taxable lump sum in gratitude equal to 6 months of his or her gross salary last received while in office, and such gratitude shall be paid once. A former president shall be provided with a fully furnished residence, including utilities and other facilities for his or her comfort, and where a former president decides to reside in his or her own residence, the government shall maintain his or her own residence and provide it with telephone, internet, and other facilities. In another news, the United Democratic Party (UDP) has denied reports that it has dismissed Rohey Malick Lowe, a national executive member and mayor of Banjul City Council, from its party. A press release issued by the party and signed by its senior administrative secretary for media and communications reads, "The United Democratic Party (UDP) is hereby condemning the spreading of fake news purported to be from the UDP. There is news circulating on social media claiming that Mayor Rohey Malick Lowe, second vice president, has been dismissed from the UDP. This is completely false and a bunch of lies being spread by distractors. The letterhead on which this false news is printed is not the letterhead of UDP, and the content is far from the truth. The spreading of these fake news will not and cannot distract the UDP, but only strengthens our resolve to continue the fight for a better Gambia." There are political novices who are desperate and run out of ideas on how to fight fairly in the political arena. Mayor Rahim Malik Lowe is a member of the UDP National Executive Committee and a committed member of the party. These dirty tactics from political enemies will not work but only make the UDP stronger. The release ended. A story written by Fatu Dem from the High Court says the case involving alleged killer of 2 Police Intervention Unit officers was yesterday presided over by Justice E. Jete of the Banjul High Court as second witness gave his evidence in chief. In his evidence, the second witness, Bakari Jaju, said he was a soldier attached to the Gambia Armed Forces Training School, adding that when the incident happened, he was with his friends. He added that the shooter was a tall guy, slim, and was wearing a kaftan and covered shoes. However, he said he could not recall the colors of his outfit or his skin color. How I was unable to know all this is because the scene happened around 9 p.m. and my priority was the weapon the shooter was having, PW2 told the court. The witness further told the court that when they got to Sukuta traffic lights, the 3 police officers were seated and one of them was holding an AK-47. He advised that he had a gunshot and immediately filtered his eyes on the direction it happened, and he saw the guy with the AK-47 in harm's way. He said he saw the shooter wanted to take the AK-47 because he was scrambling with one of the police officers and he shot him. That is the time I said to myself, this is not normal. It was the 2 officers he shot in that instant and took a few steps away and shot the female police officer. In his evidence, he added that after the shooter fired another shot, he ran and turned on the right side in Sukuta, and that was the time they started chasing him. The case was adjourned until 6 November 2023 for examination in chief for PW2. Another story written by Fatu Dem of the Point newspaper says 3 government officials from the Ministry of Health and Health Promotions and Development Organization were yesterday at the High Court presided over by Justice Jete for continuation of plea taken and set for trial. The trio are Mohamed Lamin Jete, Permanent Secretary at the Ministry of Health, Bala Kande, Program Manager of the Malaria Control Program, and Omar Male Sise, Executive Director of the HEPDO. The accused persons were charged with 5 counts of theft, 8 counts of forgery, 2 counts of economic crime, 1 count of disobedience of statutory duty, 1 count of official corruption, 1 count of conspiracy to commit felony. It could be recalled that on the 24th of October 2023, when the accused were freshly arraigned, they took their plea on the counts that were read before them, but the defense counsel L.S. Camara raised an issue that some counts on the bill of indictment were the same as other counts. Following the plea taken, Counsel Donga requested an adjournment to call their first witness to testify. The case was adjourned till 7th November 2023 for trial. That's all we have for you today in the roundup of newspaper making headlines in the Gambia on the 31st of October 2023.